Yo, welcome back to the channel.
Hello. I'm never on your channel anymore. Only in like the videos where you're just getting like bad shots of me in my dressing gown.
We've been saying we were going to do this video for a little while. It's basically, you know, a Q&A of things that people have been asking us about the America trip, about Orlando, how to book it, you know, what's the sort of best places to go. I suppose we have a load of questions here that we got from Instagram and from people DMing us, and
I bet you we're going to be like the deepest depression after reading all these out.
Probably.
Because we're going to be like, I want to go back.
I wish it was.
Sure, I was editing my YouTube video and I was like depressed after.
I know, you have serious holiday blues after come back from Orlando. But anyway, we're going to start with how did you book the trip, how much time in advance, and how to make it affordable for a family. So we booked the trip with Trailfinders. This is our second time in Orlando. Is it 3 or 4 years? No, but we booked the trip with Trailfinders.
Yeah, the last time we went was 2 years ago. 2
years ago. So we booked both our trips over the last couple of years with Trailfinders. They've been so good. The deposit's really good as well.
It's more expensive to do it that way, but it's handier because they plan like everything out for you. You don't have to worry about you're getting your tickets for your park. You're right beside the, like, you've access to the park so easily because we stayed in the Hard Rock.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you want to do it the easiest way, it's probably Trailfinders, but you could book it yourself, like individually, if you wanted. It
would be slightly cheaper if you're booking it yourself. Well, I don't know if it would be slightly cheaper.
I think it would because because I think, well, like, I suppose you'd end up paying overall more unless you didn't want to get the fast passes in the parks. So you need to explain about the fast passes.
So the fast passes in the parks are actually $100 a day. So it means that you essentially get this little card that allows you to skip all the sort of long normal queues that people are queuing up for hours and hours and hours. Whereas, like, you might be able to do a ride 2 or 3 times in the space that somebody might be able to do it once. So they're a massive advantage. I would say, genuinely, I would honest to God say, if you're going to do Orlando and going to do all the parks, do not do it without the fast passes. Like, the queues are incredibly long, like absolutely insanely long.
You'd spend like nearly half a day probably waiting for one ride if you did it that way. So you are better off getting the fast pass if you want the whole experience. But we went to Universal, so I think I'm sure Disney or whatever have the same kind of thing. I'm
sure they have the same or a similar sort of thing. But if you stay in the Hard Rock Hotel, your fast passes are included in your hotel price, so it's kind of a you're sort of saving money there. But we booked it with Trailfinders. They were incredible. They were super helpful. The deposits were relatively sort of cheap as well. So
and you can pay it like throughout the year, and you can pay it off yourself, which is class because we all had access to the Trailfinders number or whatever, and we just ring them up and they go, oh, is this Vivian or is this Aaron? And you go, I want to pay off 200. So it's not a massive amount of money all at once. You can pay it off bit by bit, which is actually deadly because you're not feeling like you're paying like whatever it was. I think it was probably about 1,600
it was
each.
It was 1,450 quid all in. So that was flights, accommodation in the Hard Rock, your 7-day. Actually, we got 14 day tickets and your fast passes. So €1,450 is not that. It's not actually that bad considering what you're actually getting. How to make it affordable for a family. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get my uncle and my auntie to sort of weigh in on this one and let them explain to you guys how to make it affordable for a family, because they took themselves and their 3 kids with us on this trip. So I'll slot it in here. Right, guys, the question is, how much time in advance did you book it for your family?
It was booked probably about 10 or 11 months in advance, but we really started saving for it a good 18 to 20 months in advance.
Okay.
I would say in total between the cost of the accommodation and the flights and then what we spent there, taking out your guitar, which was probably about €1,000, we would probably be looking at about €15,000 total.
Jesus.
But bearing in mind that what we wanted to be was a lifetime holiday.
So it was one of those types of holidays where you sort of, well, judging from what I seen, I suppose it was one of those types of holidays where you just didn't want to say no to the kids at all, or you know, it was kind of, you know, or yourselves, like.
Limited. We didn't want to be watching the bank balance all the time and trying to make decisions based upon what was in the bank.
And we know we're not going to be back there for you know, potentially another 5 or longer years. So to our minds was, if we're going to be there, we're going to live it up, we're going to love it up. So we did the best that we could do. We stayed in a good hotel, we got our tickets, we didn't say no to anything, we got a fine car, so it was a lot of money. But it was worth it. It's for what we got. It didn't seem expensive.
Yeah,
I know
for
it's
sure.
a lot. It's easy to say.
Yeah.
You know that.
But
for
bear
that
in
amount of money.
mind, we've often gone to Europe, and for 2 weeks between flights, accommodation, car, and spending money, spent 8 or 9 grand.
Yeah. So
for
there is
5 people.
You know?
Yeah, so this is family 5, so there's 2 adults and 3 kids. Now, well, obviously, Fia would be classed as an adult as well.
Yes,
now, so
class as an adult and all
She was
things.
bloody ordering off the adult menu.
Jesus. Right, so have you guys got any tips to make it more affordable
Well,
for families?
One of the easiest things we did was a small thing, but I found it a great thing, and it just meant an extra 1,200, 1,300 euros, simple as you like, was the Pringles box.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, shit, I forgot about that.
a box of Pringles here one night, we decided, after we finish it up, tape the whole lot up, poke a hole into it, and the whole idea was €2 coins. We ended up with 2 boxes, one for €1 coins, one for €2 coins. And just loose change from a night out or coming back from shopping or whatever, pop them in.
It's a very tangible thing, because I done it as well. It was very sort of
simple.
like...
I mean, it was really apparent. We still ended up with €1,000 in one Pringles box. And the other one, which we really kind of only got up a little bit, was about €300.
Sweet.
But the girls would be able to lift it up and kind of feel, and it's getting closer, and looking into it, and you can see it coming.
Yeah.
It's a small thing.
But that's just a saving process. In terms of making it actually affordable, there's a couple of things that I think were good. On one of the first, very early on in it, we went to Walmart and getting the breakfast cereals and the milk and stuff like that.
When we were there.
To have in your room.
It takes one paid meal out of the day.
Yeah, for sure.
Just having that.
Yeah.
The second thing that really helped was having things like the little pan of chocolates or the individually packed things.
To take
You're
into
able
the
to
park.
throw those into your backpack.
Yeah.
And when the kids are walking around, they're saying they're hungry, rather than spending like
$10,
$15 on something, you're able to pull that out. So I would have carried around in the backpack like those little pan of chocolates or fruit, like the girls eat fruit, so I would have had apples with me or oranges.
Yeah,
and
the cup was a lifesaver. Remember the...
I was just going to say that. The other thing,
Brilliant.
that big cup. And it was actually a woman who was in front of me who told me, because I spotted it and I asked her where she bought it. She said, you can buy it at any of these stands. She says, but I think she said there was 3 or 4 of them, and she said she bought one, and they just share it. So I was going to buy multiples of it, but rather than buy multiples, I bought one.
And you all shared it.
Yeah, and it had to be active.
But we all shared it.
Yeah, it was $18 or $19 to buy, and then it was $10 odd every day to activate it.
But everyone used it.
But like we filled that, you had to wait 10 minutes between fills, but we filled that constantly, every single day. And the 9 of us were drinking that.
And it was great saving.
You know? And there were multiple choices. Like you didn't have to be stuck with sodas. There were other, Jesus, do you hear the American on me sodas? There were other options too. So, you know, there was some fruit juices and there was some water and stuff like that. So just depending on what people want. Definitely using the mini fridge that's in your room because it's not stocked, putting stuff into that. Even for you as an adult, and I know that the question is about families, but having like a couple of beers or some wine in that as well.
Yeah.
Because the cost of beer and wine at the hotel
It's crazy,
bars
isn't it?
is quite expensive.
Yeah.
Big time.
In fact, did we ever drink at the hotel bar?
We did a couple of times,
Did we?
yeah. The other thing in the parks that I thought were good was realising that a slice of pizza is a quarter of a pizza.
Share it between couple.
Like that's enough. That was enough for the 3 kids. So like it's like not going mad on the first day and thinking you need to buy a separate portion for everybody. You know that buy a portion, see how far it goes. Buy a second one if you need to.
Happy out. Job done.
So yeah.
Okay, last question, and I know you have to run, Tom, but if you were going back, what would you do differently?
I would do very, very little differently. Honestly, I think I said no one time to a Jaws t-shirt. If I went back, I'd get my Jaws t-shirt.
Yeah, there's very little I do differently. There's something I would definitely do again, and that's stay in the park hotels.
Yeah.
Fast pass.
Yeah.
If you've got kids, you do not want to be queuing hours for those rides.
Yeah, absolutely nightmare.
So fast passes are totally worth it. And I know you'll pay more maybe in the hotels than you would if you stay off park.
Yeah.
But it swings and roundabouts because
fast passes
drives
are
a
just
holiday faster with kids than them having major meltdowns as you're queuing for 2 hours, and just as you get, you know, within 10 minutes of them saying feck it and you're out of there.
Yeah.
You know?
Job done. Happy out.
I'm just laughing because I'm thinking about we ate like pure crap over there, but I get Chinese, like say like what was it, Panda Express at night time, and then like I'd eat it for breakfast and the leftover in the morning. So that I save costs that way.
Tell you, man. Right, essential must-sees for Florida.
Oh, like as in Orlando.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it says Florida here, so
well,
Miami's definitely one.
Oh yeah, and Everglades, unbelievable.
Yeah, Miami and the Everglades was really, really cool.
They've kind of two places. Like Naples, we went, but Naples is beautiful, but it's more like a holiday kind of.
Yeah, it's more chilled out.
Chilled out location. It's really pretty though, and it's really nice, town and stuff. So
yeah, very, very good. But Universal Studios is a dead cert. You have, if you go to Florida, you can't not go to Universal Studios. Isle of Adventure is just incredible. Like,
but we're thinking like maybe if we did it again in a couple of years, we'd probably do like a different experience and try Disney, because the past 2 times we've done Universal, and you've done Universal 3 times. So I found it like it was class the first time, and it was class the second, but it's not the same as like the first feeling when you get in there and you're seeing everything first time. So, and then we couldn't get on the Hagrid's ride, which is kind of annoying, because that's the one we were excited because it was a brand new ride, but they didn't have the fast pass.
Yeah, because it was obviously a brand new ride, you weren't able to go. There was no fast pass lane.
And like 4 hours.
So it was like you're talking 4 to 5 hours queuing, which is not good in 30 degrees heat and
when you have 3 children with you.
And incredible humidity. It's definitely not good. Rental cars. Do they put a hold on your credit card, e.g. €1,000 or $1,000 until returned? No. That seems to be more of a European thing.
Yeah, that happens in Europe, definitely.
That happened when we went to Portugal the last time. But I actually just ended up paying the insurance, like this sort of fully comprehensive insurance that they had. I think it was maybe €180 or €200 for the week. But that is more of a European thing. Once you pay your car, we got our car with Alamo.
Yeah.
And it was super easy, like incredibly easy. Yeah, you hand over your...
It took like 2 seconds.
Yeah,
like.
honest to God, it did. And it was like, you just give them your credit card, your driver license, and like they obviously hold your credit card as in your details.
If something was to go wrong.
If something was to go wrong, like, you know, if you return the car in a ball of flames, it's obviously going to come off your credit card. Like, you know, it's one of those types of things where they don't actually take £1,000 off your credit card. So no, it seems to be more of a European thing versus an American thing. Are you allowed to bring snacks and water into the park? Yes.
Yeah.
That's something that we did a lot because
they don't really, they check your bags for like obviously weapons and stuff, but they don't take water or food off you. You're allowed to bring all that.
You're allowed to bring snacks and you're allowed to bring water and, you know, whatever drinks you want and stuff like that.
But your water's like boiled by the end of the day.
It's pretty hot, like, you know. But one of the things that my auntie actually did do, she got this cup that you can buy in Universal. It's essentially
it's like $20-something.
It's $20 but you get like a 24 hour. Like, you can refill it as many times as you want in the park in a space of 24 hours, and then you top it up by $10. But
yeah,
we were absolutely hot.
And we were all milling out of it, like 9 of us out of this one thing, so it's definitely
really worth it. Like, because
we didn't know about it the last time that we were here,
But it's really worth it if you were going up and buying, you know, a bottle of Coke for $5 every time. Every time you were thirsty, you'd be, or a bottle of water even, you know, every time you were thirsty, you'd be out of fortune.
I think they have like, I think I saw they have a lot of fountains everywhere, like so you could
bring
a bottle and you could fill it up, because I did that a few times. They have fountains and stuff, so
but they have those refillable stations like everywhere, like you can go up and refill it with like whatever sort of
like anything you're like that comes to your mind. They have like everything.
If you guys have been to Five Guys,
it's like that
use the sort of digital
touch thing,
the sort of digital touch cup or fountain machine, that's exactly what it's like, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
they have like slushy and everything in it.
It's just insane, absolutely insane. Everything that you want to drink. Best places to eat in Orlando.
Oh, we were chatting about this before. So, like,
I feel like we needed to take notes on this because we've had.
I know, but like the past, like we've been to America a lot in the past while. So like obviously we were obsessed with Cheesecake Factory, like the first time we went. So if it's your first time going, 100% Cheesecake Factory. But I just was like, I want to try other places because it's all we used to eat. Yeah. So Cheesecake Factory is definitely unreal, and like the cheesecakes are unbelievable.
Yeah.
Then
but go there hungry. That's that's
the
definitely
food is
big
like
advice.
Huge portions, like.
So don't like snack or eat a few hours before you go.
Unless you're Aaron.
Or unless you're me.
Okay.
But no, but like skip lunch. Genuinely, have your breakfast and skip lunch, and then wait for Cheesecake Factory if you're going to go to the
like
Cheesecake
even
Factory.
like the cheesecake in itself is like a full. Like
3-course
meal, like it's so filling.
I think the lowest calorie one is something like 1,000 calories just for a slice. It's
like
just
I didn't even order a cheesecake. I just like took everyone else's leftovers because I just like I know no one's gonna like completely finish their cheesecake.
Yeah, but definitely Cheesecake Factory is high on the list. It has to be one of the top places. Antojitos, which is in City Walk.
Yeah, City Walk.
Sits on City Walk. So
Yeah.
it's basically like this sort of
Mexican place.
It is a Mexican place, but it's on like a promenade with like loads
yeah,
of
so
different
as you're going towards Island of Adventure, like when you come into Universal, you're gonna have your 2 parks, and just as you're going towards on your left towards Island of Adventure, you have City Walk, which is like all the restaurants like you could actually think of.
Yeah,
like they
got
have
Foodie
everything.
Donuts,
Like
you've
yeah,
got
you've
pizza
no like
places,
there's no limit. Like they have they have Panda Express, they have Margaritaville, they have
sushi.
everything. Like
Yeah,
anything you want, they'll have it. Like
Yeah.
so. That place is class, especially if you're picky with food. Like there's so many food options, like sandwich bars, everything. Like
Yeah, well, Antojitos was unbelievable.
We went there the last time as
place.
well, and it's like Mexican, and it's the nicest Mexican food.
Yeah, it's
ever.
delish. The other one was the Hard Rock Cafe, which is just across the water. So if you ever look at Universal Studio, you've got Universal on your right, and you've got the Island of Adventure on your left. Right across the pond is the Hard Rock Cafe, and it's top end for food.
And also, I found that anywhere in Universal, if you want to pick up like a slice of pizza, it is unbelievable. Like,
and it's not just a normal slice. Like it's like a quarter.
It's like the size of your head slice.
It's a quarter of a pizza.
But it's like they are expensive. Like Universal is expensive. They charge you a lot. I think it's like $12 or something for a pizza slice.
Yeah, it's like,
but it is really nice, and it fills you up. It's like having like a meal.
It's like having a proper meal. But one I remember in that little Italian place, I paid $16 for
a
slice of pizza,
and like the tiniest salad,
and a tiniest salad, like so, like a little tiny bowl of
Caesar
salad, like it was a little combo meal, but it was like $16. But look, I suppose you're expecting those type of prices because you're in a park and you can't really go anywhere else, you know.
But you can do it like you can do it a cheaper way, like as in we didn't go and be like, okay, we're gonna have breakfast, lunch and dinner and like be stuffed all the time. We didn't. Like we would fast probably until lunchtime, and then we'd pick a slice of pizza. Like, so you can do it the cheap way. You don't have to sit down for every meal. You can grab things on the go. Obviously, if you're trying to be really healthy, that's probably not gonna happen because like there's no like grab and the go healthy options unless you want to see a salad like that's literally this size.
Yeah, it's like a tiny little hand.
Aaron's like obsessed with it. You can order them. Everyone's like, Aaron, they're literally like one bite.
They're so delicious though.
I think so. Sorry. Margaritaville. Like we didn't eat there, but the margaritas are unreal.
If you're going to Universal, you have to go to Margaritaville. Go to the little takeout window because it's actually cheaper than buying them inside.
Yeah.
So it was like $4 cheaper to buy the margarita
at
the little to-go window.
But it's only open a certain time of day.
Yeah,
that's the only shit thing.
That's the shit thing.
But I think the food looks unreal. Because when I was walking in to order my drink, like I saw people's tables and the food looks amazing there.
Yeah,
so
definitely does.
I think it's probably like kind of Mexican, like you know, Caribbean kind of food.
Yeah, it did look like that. Okay, next on the list is how did you plan your days in the park? So it was
hard because we had kids with us, so like we couldn't really be like, okay, let's go boom 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 get this done. Whereas the first time we did, because we there was older,
it was just adults. Like.
Yeah, so it was kind of harder because your kid, you're going a bit slower and things like that. But it's you don't really organise the whole day. You just kind of say, okay, well we go to this ride next, and we kind of head towards that. And that's all you can do really.
What I would suggest is, if you're staying there for a little bit or an extended period of time, you know, choose one park at a time. Don't say, right, well, I'm going to go from there to there to there to there.
Yeah,
it'll take you yonks. Like, I don't think, people who haven't been there, I don't think you understand
how big it is.
The size of it. It's just enormous, like absolutely enormous. So spend one day in one park. That's what I would say. That would be my best advice to you. Go to one park, spend one day in one park, and then knock the next park out of it the next day and go from there. If you want to go back between the two, well then you can sort of pick and choose what you want to do, and you have a little bit more time once you see the best of both.
Like the comfiest shoes you own, because you're walking so much every day. Like we were doing about 20,000 steps a day. Like I'm not even minimum. Like I'm not even joking. And like I was getting like severe blisters on my feet because like you need such comfy shoes because it's literally killer. Like you're walking so much. The parks are ginormous. Like they're huge.
And like when we had the girls with us, like we were sort of starting and stopping because they hadn't been there before, and they were sort of going
for sweets and like
different places. Yeah. That, you know, they were sort of super excited to see everything, and obviously because we'd been there before, it was kind of like, wow, we didn't realise how slow, you know, we were moving at the time. You know, that kind of way. In comparison to like us being there before, we cruised.
See, I think because they wanted to like stop and get ice cream and stop and get sweets, like it was just a different experience. But it wasn't bad or anything. It was just it's not as quick as it was if you're going with like an adult. Like if you're going with adults, it's kind of you're more moving place to place quicker than you were with kids. Like you know.
Yeah. Going again. If you're going again, what would you do differently next time you're in Orlando? I'd leave Universal and I'd do Disney.
Yeah, I would do
as much as I love
else.
Universal, I don't think there's much more.
Like you get sick of, like not sick of it, like it's just
I just
you
don't
need a
think
different experience.
Yeah, I don't think there's much more that we can experience in Universal Studios unless you're sort of waiting, because there was a couple of new rides that we haven't been on. One was Fast and Furious, which was not great, and then the other one was Hagrid's, which we actually didn't get a chance to go on because there was 4-hour queues and it was just incredible. Like we were waiting to try and get in at 9 o'clock in the morning, and there was queues outside the park before the park even opened to leg it to Hagrid's ride so that they could queue for.
And we tried to be smart about it, because if you stay in the Hard Rock, you can get into the parks an hour earlier before everyone else. So we were like, oh class, we're going to be able to get in like to Hagrid's. But then Isle of Adventure doesn't open till like an hour later. You can get into
Universal only.
Universal, but not the actual parks. So
you can get into Universal Park, but you can't get into Isle of Adventure, which is kind of shit.
Yeah, so basically it defeats the purpose of going in an hour early.
Yeah, but that's one of the other advantages to staying in the Hard Rock.
You get in an hour earlier.
You get in an hour earlier. What would you do differently? Go to Disney?
I probably would go to Disney, like just to have a different experience, and then go to Busch Gardens. I wanted to go Busch Gardens this time, but we just didn't have the time, and we were kind of exhausted by the end of the week, weren't we? We were shattered, so we didn't get a chance to go to Busch Gardens. But Busch Gardens is like a massive, like another theme park, but I think you do it in like a day. It's based in like a zoo kind of, so
I think it's a zoo as well.
All the roller coasters are going through basically a massive zoo, which is I think is class.
It's pretty good.
So we wanted to go to Busch Gardens, but we didn't get the chance. So maybe the next time we go.
Yeah, definitely. I'd definitely do Disney. If I was staying there again, I would definitely do Disney and just get a different experience.
Yeah, and then also Disney has 4 parks, whereas Universal only has 2. So
they have 3. They've Volcano Bay as well. So you've
they have a water park. So we didn't go to Volcano Bay.
We didn't end up going. My uncle and one of his daughters actually went because they're mad at the water park, so we weren't too big on them, so we just kind of left it.
Yeah.
So essential must-sees for Florida?
Yeah, essential must-sees for Florida. So Everglades was unbelievable, but that's quite down south, so unless you're planning to travel around Florida, you'd probably be travelling like 3 or 4 hours to get to the Everglades.
Yeah.
So that's what we did. We spent our second week in Naples, and we went out to the Everglades, which is like where you see all the alligators, like you're going out to the Gulf of Mexico, seeing dolphins coming from your boat.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
And then obviously Miami as well was unreal.
Yeah, it was a 2-hour drive as well.
So there's nothing major else. I think we kind of saw everything.
Yeah, I
to
think
see in Florida
for sure. Like I'm sure there's like different sort of excursions and stuff like that you could do, but we definitely recommend the Everglades. That sort of Everglades tour. What I'll do is I'll leave the link for that Everglades tour that we did below.
But in Miami, I saw when we were in Miami, they have Everglades tours as well, so we actually got our Everglades tour from where we were in Naples, but I did see that Miami does it as well. So if you're going to Orlando and then you're going down to stay in Miami for a while, you could do the Everglades tour from there too. For sure.
Spending money, people ask how much did you spend or how much did you take to spend. Someone said they're going to Florida for 7 days and then 3 nights in Miami. Well, I was saying to Vivian a couple of days ago that I budgeted myself for $120 a day plus 20% tip. So anywhere that you're going,
you have to tip.
You have to tip. Like, so anywhere where you're drinking or eating, like, you know, if you go into a restaurant, a bar, any type of, like, you know, service industry, you know, obviously, you know, you're not tipping people like in shops like, you know, Walmart or 7-Eleven and stuff like that. But
here you go, enjoy yourself there.
No, but when you go into like sit down restaurants or you go in for a drink in a sit down
bar, you're tipping everywhere.
Your tips are getting absolutely rattled out of it. So I budgeted myself for $120 a day, and that was like food and booze and, you know,
I didn't budget a day. I'm not as organised as Aaron, but I had about $2,000 for the trip.
Yeah.
And like that was to do me, and it did me fine. It was okay. So yeah. I think depends how long you're going for. We went for 2 weeks, but definitely if you were staying in Universal for 2 weeks, you definitely would need more money because Universal's so expensive.
Yeah.
But we obviously went down south, so we were staying in an Airbnb and we were cooking ourselves, and it was a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
So it totally depends on the type of trip you're doing. If you're doing 2 weeks in Universal, you definitely would need more money than that.
Yeah. If you're doing 2 weeks just in Universal or Disney and stuff like that, like,
you'd need more money.
You would need a lot more money because, you know, the parks are relatively expensive if you're you know, buying different tickets. Like for instance, like Disney, I know for a day pass
it's like $100 something.
SeaWorld, which we went to the last time, again
$100 something
was $100 something just for a day pass into the park.
You're paying on average $100 something per park, and especially if you have kids and stuff, like, it's a lot of money. You know, you take
a family of 4 or 5, there's $400 to $500, and that's without buying a fast pass. And so if there's 5 of you guys going into a park and you have to buy the fast pass, which is another $100, there's £1,000 dropped before you've even bought yourself a drink or before you've even eaten something. So it is, you know, it is relatively expensive.
It's not a cheap holiday. Like but it's not a holiday that you go on all the time either. It's kind of a once in a lifetime really holiday.
Did you guys go to any other parks, and if not, why?
We did the last time. So when we were staying in Universal the last time, we went to SeaWorld and we went to one of the Disney parks. It was the
Epcot.
It wasn't Epcot.
Was it not?
No, it was the what was it called?
It was the movie one, or like was it a Star Warsy type thing?
Yeah, it wasn't great. But like it wasn't great because we couldn't get on any rides because we didn't have fast pass, so it wasn't a good idea.
Yeah.
So that's why I think if you're gonna go to either Disney or Universal, you're better off just choosing one or the other.
Yeah.
And then getting the fast passes for that, or unless you can afford to get the fast passes for both, and that's class.
Yeah, well then lash away.
Then it's better, like.
Yeah, but
and SeaWorld as well.
Yeah, SeaWorld again. It's a sort of
touchy subject.
It's a touchy subject because when we went to SeaWorld the last time, we put up a couple of posts and we sort of got ripped out of it. And not that, you know, we've obviously seen blackfish and we know it's not great to keep those animals in captivity, but you know,
it's also like a roller coaster park as well. I think they're moving away from that completely.
Yeah, there's, as far as I'm aware, you know, they stopped all the whole breeding, and you know they're not breeding anymore. And whatever sort of, I suppose this kind of sounds bad, but whatever's left is left. They're not letting, you know.
They're not
continuing
to breed them.
The breeding.
But no, I can understand because like you're kind of like, oh, you don't want to pay into it, which is completely fine. Like if you, I totally agree with that. So I was even a bit like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have went.
We were actually on the day that we were going, we were kind of hesitant.
Yeah, we were actually hesitant to go. We were like, oh, will we go and all, and like, but like I would say their roller coasters are very good. Like the park as a whole, the roller coasters and stuff are class.
Yeah. So
and they do have other animals besides the whales, so it's kind of like an aquarium as well. But otherwise, that's probably why we didn't go this time, because we were a bit like, oh, it's a bit of a bad topic, and we didn't really.
Yeah. And the fact that there was 9 of us as well, it was trying to get everybody to go.
But definitely Busch Gardens would be one that we want to go to the next time.
Busch Gardens would definitely be one I'd go to again.
Yeah.
And if there was a Six Flags.
Six Flags is amazing, yeah.
Six Flags is top end.
That's one thing, like, I always say to Aaron about Universal. Like, if you're one of those people that's really scared of, like, roller coasters and stuff, you don't really have to worry, because Universal's, their rides are really, they're all more 3D, like, than actual roller. Like, they probably have 3 massive roller coasters in the whole 2 parks.
2, 3. They've Rip Ride Rocket.
Yeah.
They've the Mummy.
Hulk.
What are the ones?
I can't think of any other ones.
They've Hagrid's Ride, which was Dueling Dragons.
Okay. Yeah, so like it's more like 3D stuff and like
interactive type stuff.
Yeah, it's not like really scary roller coasters. Whereas me and Aaron, like, we love like roller coasters. So if you're looking for that, I don't think you would like Oh no, I think you'd like Universal because it's based on all these movies and it's unreal. But I think if you're expecting it to be like loads of crazy roller coasters, that's not what you're gonna get. Like, it's not.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
You're getting more 3D kind of rides, like, that are deadly as well. But if you're thinking it's like more roller coasters, it's not really.
If you've been to Six Flags before, it's not like Six Flags. Six Flags is just purely roller coasters. There's no sort of theme to it. Yeah. It's not a theme
all
park.
Roller coasters.
It's not like a, you know, oh my god, here's Harry Potter World. Oh my god, there's Jurassic Park. You know, it's there's not that.
No, but I think even if you're gonna go to Universal, do Universal, but do maybe like one park outside of it that's like Busch Gardens. That's meant to be more roller coasters and things like that. If that's what you're interested in.
What was like staying in the Hard Rock?
Oh, it's such a cool hotel. Like, I love it.
It's an unbelievable hotel.
Yeah.
Even the smell of it.
It just smells unreal. I know that's so weird when you walk in. You're like, we're in the Hard Rock.
Yeah, it's very odd.
They always have a really nice spray. It's like Hollister. You know when you walk into Hollister, it's like sprayed out of it.
Yeah, they're sprayed out of it. There's a certain smell.
But it's dead. It's a deadly hotel. It is. But like, we didn't. To be fair, like, the only reason why we really went there was because you get the fast passes and it's a cool hotel. But we didn't eat in it or anything like that. Or but we got the pizzas. That's it.
Oh yeah, there's like a little sort of
cafe bar
downstairs that you can sort of get takeout pizzas and, you know, little sort of snacks and stuff like that. But that was delish. But
we never ate there. Like, we didn't have breakfast there or anything like that.
There's a restaurant there called the Palm, and that's apparently really good. But we never ate there. There's another cafe.
Cafe is it called? Rock Cafe.
The kitchen.
The kitchen, that's what it's called, yeah.
And that sort of does breakfast and lunch and
stuff.
Like
a buffet and all that.
The other thing that was great about Hard Rock was that it was so close to the park.
Yeah, it's literally just like a walking distance, like, it's
like less than 5 minutes and you're at the gates of Universal, which is incredible. And if you have a pool view room, which is really, really cool as well, you can actually see straight into the parks, which is just...
You can see like the roller coasters.
It's class. You can see everybody going around the roller coasters and stuff like that. And you can actually see...
I can't see that far.
But the last time we were there, you could actually see City Walk.
Yeah.
You know, so we were
all lit up and all.
Really, really cool. And then you see the fireworks show at night.
But even, no, the Hard Rock is class because, you know, the pool's really cool and every night they play a movie for the kids and all. And like the food, the bar and all is lovely.
Yeah,
so,
it was nice.
No, it is a cool hotel. Like, that's what you're looking for.
Very, very slick hotel. Definitely would recommend it. I don't think you'd stay anywhere else.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, if we were going to Disney, I'd have to stay it in somewhere else.
But if you were going back to Universal.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't be right if I didn't stay in the Hard Rock. Because you know, it's so handy like to walk into the park. It's like probably the nearest hotel to the park.
Yeah.
And whereas if you're going, like say in the other hotels, you can't just nip back and then nip back in. Whereas if you're staying in the Hard Rock, you literally just walk 5 minutes down the road, you're in your hotel, and then walk 5 minutes back and you're back in.
For sure.
Because some of the mornings we'd get up early, we'd go into the parks, and then we'd come back to the hotel and chill for a while because we were tired, and then go back in later for food or whatever.
And there was one of the days where you weren't feeling 100%. We left and
then I walked in and met them. So whereas you couldn't really do that if you were in a hotel that was ages away.
Yeah.
But you stayed in a hotel that was a while away before. So
yeah, I stayed in Lowe's Royal Pacific, and there is a taxi. There's a taxi boat that takes you from your hotel to the parks, but that one was obviously, you know, maybe 10-minute.
Oh really? Okay. So you can't just like go in and come back. You have to.
It's put it this way: from any other hotel besides the Hard Rock, it's a bit of a
journey.
It's a bit of a spin. It's a bit of a walk.
Yeah.
Do you know? So you wouldn't be.
So you're paying for pure handiness and convenience of it.
For sure. What about getting to the other parks?
Oh, you need to drive. The Volcano Bay, there's a bus to that one, but that's a bit far away.
Yeah. There is a shuttle bus to other parks. There's also a shuttle bus to Volcano Bay that sort of goes, I think, maybe every 15 minutes or every half an hour, which is relatively handy. But like I said, you need to drive. You definitely need a car.
That's one thing about America, like
it's very spread out.
So spread out, like, and you need to drive. Just with your handiness, you need to drive. Like, it's just.
But we also said everything was relatively close.
No, but it is in a sense, but it's just like completely different to LA in the sense that LA is so spread out, like, whereas Orlando, like, they're relatively close, but they're still in such a big area, you know what I mean? Because everything's so massive there.
So, LA compared to Orlando, LA is like, you know,
widespread, like.
It's widespread, but it's tons of traffic. So, for instance, a 10-minute journey, or let's say 5 miles.
Hour.
5 miles might take you an hour and a half, whereas 5 miles in Orlando was 5 miles. It'd take you, 5 to 10 minutes. You know, it's that type of thing. Anything else you want to add in?
No, that's pretty much it. Shopping and stuff like that is really good in Orlando. Yeah. You get some really good bargains there. We went to 2 out of 3 outlets, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then the mall at Millennium we went to as well.
Yeah, so the outlets is where you're going to get all the, obviously, the bargains and stuff, whereas in the malls it's all the newest stuff and it's a lot more expensive. So we didn't get much in the malls. I got like my new Apple Watch and things that you can't really get in the outlets.
Yeah, you also went to Macy's and got really good deals.
Oh yeah, Macy's actually. That was in Naples.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought that was in Orlando, sorry.
Yeah, so I went to Macy's in Naples, and Macy's seems to have really good discounts on Michael Kors bags, but they have obviously the newer kind of stuff. So you just look around. If you see something that you like, just look around a few of the Michael Kors places because you might get nicer or newer versions in different places.
You might get it for cheaper.
Yeah, and they have usually like 60 to 70% off, and then on the day they might have an extra 20% off, so you're getting such good bargains for bags and stuff, especially if you want to like get presents and things like that. It's really good.
Yeah, sports kit is unbelievable as well. Under Armour, Nike, all that type of stuff is just for next to nothing. Like,
and only one of the outlets has a Victoria's Secret outlet. And that's actually quite hard to get because I've never seen a Victoria's Secret outlet, only in Orlando. I've never seen it anywhere.
Which one was it?
It was the first one we went to. I don't know, is that the premium?
The premium outlets on International Drive has
Victoria's Secret outlet. And it's pretty big as well, and you get really good discounts there, especially on all like the sprays and things like that. So yeah.
And if you're happy to scrounge around and look, because it's a bit messy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit messy, but like what you expect, you're in an outlet. Like you're gonna have stuff like.
Anything else you want to add in?
No, I think that's pretty much covered the main stuff, didn't we?
Yeah, for sure.
Anything else you want to mention?
No, I would say I would highly recommend to do it. I fucking love Orlando. It was such. It was.
Aaron is like the biggest kid ever. Like Orlando makes him like so happy. Like even the morning we were going, it was like 3 in the morning. We were both so hungover, and he was just playing Universal's like playlist.
Playing Jurassic Park songs and no, but it's not that I'm obsessed with it. It's just the fact that when you've not when you're going with people who haven't been there, seeing their reactions.
Yeah, that's
is incredible.
good. Yeah, and I think as well, like me and Aaron are massive like film freaks. Like we watch so many movies, and we're obsessed with like Harry Potter, Jurassic Park, all that stuff. So if you're obsessed with those kind of things, it's just, deadly. Like it's really good. But and especially the Harry Potter stuff they have in Universal is unbelievable. Like it's like really realistic.
And it's like nothing you've ever seen. The scale of it.
Yeah,
is just
you get so excited because you're like, oh my god, I'm in Hogsmeade.
But it's like, yeah. But I would highly recommend. I would just say if you are thinking about going,
plan it in advance for sure.
I would say plan it in advance. Like look, with Trailfinders. By the way, it's not a sponsored thing by Trailfinders. We're just mentioning it because
they are good.
They actually are very good, and they were really sort
and they'll find you like the cheapest flights and everything like that.
Not,
so
they're not out to sort of rip you off. They're looking for the cheapest deals.
Especially like we flew with Virgin, and like Virgin are really nice to fly with as well. So really they do find you good flights. And we flew from Dublin to London and London to Orlando, so it was fine. It wasn't bad.
It probably would have cost more to fly direct. So you know if you're happy to.
They don't fly. Can you fly direct?
Yeah, you can with Aer Lingus.
Oh, I didn't know you could fly direct.
If you're happy to sort of do a little stopover in England, you're good to go. But apart from that, that's pretty much all it.
Yeah. And we're very depressed to be home.
We're very depressed to be home. But yeah, that's pretty much us.
Yeah.
Job done.
I think we covered everything.
I think we did. If there is any other questions though, comment below and let us know. And we'll try and answer all the questions that you guys have below. But apart from that, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.